It's about the liberty of releasing art without being afraid of modern conventions.
I wrote that in the complete darkness. I was moving and dancing intuitively, and the lyrics started coming through movement in the dance.
Emotional realms. I think some really raise the energy and some bring it right down, and you feel like we're kind of singing right in your ears, and you're left with something that's very raw and immediate.
We found it inspiring to work with birds as a topic, although it's not very present in the songwriting. The soul of the bird species is underlying everything.
Hello, good day, and today we are talking to SONGLEIKR about the new album Fuglefolk. Previous album Gottfolk, it was in 2019, so it's like 7 years of interval between the albums. What changed in the lineup and what changed in the sound of the new album?
Oh, so much to talk about. Where do we start?
As you know, you can talk as much as you like.
Yeah, thank you, Oscar. It's good to be back on your podcast, I have to say. Thank you for last time Ingrid and me had a conversation at Midgardsblot last year? 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah. And today we are joined by Kasia from the UK, which is maybe the biggest change in our lineup. So we teamed up maybe, first of all, because there's a HEILUNG break, right? So there's time. And Ingrid's kids are growing up, so she has time. And it's basically, yeah, we decided to use this this year to make an album, do some touring, because Gottfolk has been living its own little life on all the streaming platforms and is creating a lot of joy out there. And we wanted to record some ideas that we've had lying around for a while. And yeah, guys, fill in. I don't want to do all the talking here. Kasia, do you want to tell how you became a part of it?
Yeah, so the three of us met a few years ago now, and we sort of connected musically, creatively, and then when Ingrid and Maria were looking to put together the second album, they reached out to collaborate, and I think probably the most exciting part was when we came together in your Blackbox, Ingrid, at the tail end of the summer, where a lot of the ideas were already in motion. Ingrid and Maria had already brought a lot of the source lyrics and material, and then we really birthed the album in this 3-4 week period within Ingrid's Blackbox.
And we also have a new string player. His name is Espen, and a drummer is Petter. So it's 5 creative forces in this new lineup. Yes, but you listened to the album, Oscar. I guess did you like it?
Of course. Obviously, yes. I feel it's like in line with the general direction. It's like folk album, and in the same time the sound is a bit new. You have flute. I assume it's Kaisa's, and you have like basically more people. So I meant to ask like how the sound changed, and also I recall like a couple of years ago we talked that songs are a bit dark and some horror songs maybe, if I remember correctly, but how the mood also changed, because I didn't have a translation or text for the new album, only sound. I understand a little Swedish, but it was not enough. So did you add some happy songs also?
Yes, well, you define happy. I mean, some people in the songs are happy and other people die, so we're still attracted, the usual. We're still attracted to the dark lore of the Nordic folk music for sure. But I think we are experimenting a bit in different directions in regards to some songs are actually not meant to be understood. They're more meant to be felt. And then, as you say, we have a few, like the classical pieces, like we wanted to include a flute piece because it's just a lovely part of how we create folk music. And then Ingrid has written some true gems. And I think for me, they're not, I mean, Troll and Svarvi are not happy songs, but they are emotionally really, really deep. And I get moved every time I hear them. And I think, Ingrid, I mean, what inspired you to write specifically these two? Because they are calm and yeah, they're different, but they're in the same world, so to say.
Yeah, so Svarvi, which is the single release we have out now, I wrote that in the complete darkness of my Blackbox. I was moving and dancing intuitively, and the lyrics started coming through movement in the dance. And I had to run and write it down. And then my body kept moving, and I had to run and write it down. And the melody came right after. It was, my body was dancing the balance between the feminine and the masculine side of the body. So that song is really about how we move with life force and energy, and how the feminine and masculine is communicating. So in that sense, it's not like a dark song, it's a very emotional song that I think people would also understand. It would resonate with people also 1,000 years ago, because it's it's about the self. So the chorus is grab hold and spin around yourself. It's a very empowering song. And then Troll is written to my children. It's actually like a lullaby, so it's a good night song. And it's basically about how, as a mother, you can find the musical inspiration and the tonalities coming directly from the mountain. So I live in a place where there are a lot of hills, and it's like sometimes I can hear this rhythm and sound coming from the mountains. And it's about falling asleep, resting assured that you're being cradled and kept safe by this force of nature. Because as a mother, also, you can struggle a lot to be assured that you can keep your kids safe, especially now in this world where everything is storming. So, but the hills and the trolls, oddly enough, they keep you very safe, at least if you let them. So yeah, and then we have also some more like upbeat, happy songs, I guess.
Yeah, I think if I can say something, it's so some songs were kind of ready molded when we started the process, like Troll and Svarvi, the two songs we just talked about. And then we had other songs which were more instrumental pieces, and that's where we had a lot of fun in Ingrid's Blackbox to develop. Kasia is, your main instrument is flute and vocals, but you have a good understanding for everything else as well. So we just, we jammed it out, and the result now is something that I can't wait to play it live. It's so enjoyable. And we would have loved to have met Espen, our string player that's joining us live now. We sadly met him after the recordings were done, but we had wonderful guests on strings on the album in the shape of Magnus Børmark from Gåte and Amalie Brun from Myrkur, and also Jo Ranheim from Øra Studio, where we did the recordings. So.
Yeah, and I read online that you had the studio somewhere in the mountains or somewhere far away. Why did you choose this place?
Good question. Yeah, it's closer to where Ingrid lives, where we could have the rehearsal space so we could have 4 weeks out in row. So we had 3 weeks with Ingrid, and then 1 week 1 hour away from her farm in Trondheim. And it was it's a beautiful place, Trondheim, and that part of Norway is very, very cool. You saw it for the first time, Kasia?
I did, but I didn't spend enough time there. I'm looking forward to us going back when we're playing at the end of May. But it was really beautiful, and I think all I really got to see was the walk between the hotel and the studio. But I really, it's beautiful.
I know there is that Blackbox. I saw the pictures. It's like literally the Blackbox. Does it help you like to concentrate? That it's more like an isolated space? And maybe if each of you like share how the process felt for you, like a little bit.
Kasia, do you want to?
Yeah, no, I love the question. I'm just thinking. Actually, you mentioned the space and asking about how the space inspires. I think there's something about being in a black box that can shut the world away for a while, and your only focus then is on the sounds that you're creating, and you're completely zoned in to this world that you're not really sure where time is until you open the door and it's you see whether it's light or dark outside. And I think it really held the process for us being in the black box together. And then interspersed with going into beautiful parts of nature and being in the woods. I think we had such a joyous experience of different things. But for me, the process felt like it was the first time we could all really land in the music together, because up until that point, our connections were remote and we were maybe exchanging voice notes or different bits of recordings or ideas on Zoom and listening to different things. But this was the first time we could be in a room together and hear what some of this sounded like together, and exploring, as Maria was saying, about a lot of the source material was there, but some of the songs maybe had one theme, so we could improvise around that theme and add different instruments and layers and just lean into the energy of the song and see where it took us. And I think with songs like Elden Miller, for example, that really, it came with its initial theme and words and melody, and then the song just developed different layers of texture, and the structure was born within the black box. I don't know, Maria, Ingrid, of your experiences of kind of building some of the songs, or how it felt to start with some of your source material, but then watch it evolve and develop, and how that felt in the black box.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to second what Kasia said about the importance of having the liberty to interchange between a very, very closed but focus space and then into wild nature. Because right outside Ingrid's door, there is basically endless forests and mountains and hills and lakes, and that feeling of being both open and closed in, I think is an important part of a creative process, that you don't open the door and you go directly into a city, or I don't know, some people get inspired by that as well, of course, but it's communal for all of us in the group that we're huge nature lovers. And yeah, Ingrid's place is absolutely perfect for this type of creative work.
I find it so interesting. When I read the social media, I read about the black box. I saw pictures by Violetta, and also Ingrid has such an interesting experiences. I really was. It was so great to hear how Svari was created, like that dynamical meditation, if you may. It's like so interesting that you not just like sit down or like in a hotel room and like kind of invent something, but it's the whole basically environment that you kind of immerse yourself, and the music comes out as a result of basically in that a little bit transfixed state, let's say.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that Ingrid has put mats all on the floor. So we on day one we already agreed that we don't really feel comfortable sitting on chairs very much. So it's a space where we used the whole room and were lying on the floor and sitting on the floor and then chair and then dancing and then, so it was a very actually physical work.
It's kind of an alchemical process. That's usually what I describe any work that's going on in the black box. It's an alchemical process because you're taking something and turning it into something else, right? And the room really allows that to happen, whether you're alone or with different people. It's a good cradle for giving birth to art, I guess.
Yeah, and also meditative music. I think that was how Huyen was very much created, because we were able to be on the floor, right, Kasia?
Absolutely. And I was thinking just before that about you mentioned about movement and dance, and actually we sometimes started the day with just moving together, just releasing that energy, and then I think working with then that energy in the space. And I think you could come in with lots of energy and then dial it right down. And Maria referenced Huyen. I think at that point we just found a very calm space on the mats and sat creating just a drone with a shruti box and some percussion. Petter was improvising, and a couple of us sat vocally and just see what came out, and use the energy of the space, but really kind of going inwards. And it was almost quite a private, quiet experience, and just see what sounds emerged from the space.
About the authorship of the songs, so they sound like folkish and so on, but is it like everything that you wrote yourself, or are there any traditional pieces?
So for this album, it's more or less only self-composed pieces. There is 2 traditional ones. One is Arme Jomfru, which is a Swedish song about a virgin that takes a walk in the woods and falls on a stick accidentally.
Totally safe.
Totally normal. That happens, in Nordic woods, naturally. And then there is Elden Melder, which is based on an old Norwegian... what did we find the word for it, Kasia? It was...
A choosing song?
Yeah, so
choosing songs.
Yeah, so when kids try to decide who gets to go first, like instead of saying I call dips on it, kind of, we do this kind of thing where
Let's do it, Ingrid. We can do it to the 4 of us, just to show. So it's Elle melde deg fortelle, skipet går ut I år, rygg I ram, 2 I spann, snipp, snapp, snute, du ute. Oh, that was actually me. I'm out. And then you start over.
Then this rhyme, I looked into it, and it's not really Elle melle, it's Elden Meller. So it's from when, these big bonfires at the top of hills, when they would alert people of danger. What's it called in English?
Oh!
Yeah.
Sound the alarm.
Beacon.
Yeah, so it's actually a rhyme that goes Elden Meller, so the beacons are signaling that the ship is going out this year, which means that there's going to be a war. Sit 2 together and row in a rhythm. That's what it really means. So when we do the lyrics in the song, we changed it to have the original meaning. So it's the fire is signaling something bad is coming. Arm up and go. So and it's also really fitting, because the location of this farm, it was Leidang during the Viking Age. So this is where the king's soldiers would have been situated to row directly out into the fjord, which is just down here. And it's a very strategic point. So they probably would have had these beacons around here on the mountains, and yeah. But it turned into a kids' rhyme, and then now my kids love this song. They just call it the night song.
Riddersang?
Yeah.
Curious.
Night
As a
song.
night, like day and night.
Why?
No,
Why
but
night?
I think
As
it's
in
something.
the knight who's fighting with a lance.
Ah,
Oh, the night song. Okay.
Yeah, but I think it's something beautiful about that the music we create, it's equally interesting for all ages. Like my kids are 4 and 5, they love it, and then someone's grandmother can love it, and then it's because it's just very even for Norwegian people, you know this song already, kind of. It's it sits really deep.
While we are talking about songs, there is that one of the favorites of mine is Kunstner. It's like second track. I especially was curious how the song came alive, how it was created or written,
Yeah.
because it has this very interesting rhythm. It's not like conventional at all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
it's funny
immediately-
it's funny you mention it, because I was sitting in the mastering studio with this song, and the first guy who helped us with the master, he was like, "What is the rhythm here? I mean, I get it, but I don't get it." And that's I think it's a typical me thing to do when I write. I find it extremely entertaining to play with polyrhythmics, and that you feel you can follow, but you still have to work a little to count, and that makes it so people, they can what's the word I'm looking for? It's like when you eat something that you have to chew a bit before you swallow, you don't just swallow it. It's good for your brain. But this song is where I play with both Norwegian and Danish words, because I feel after living for 19 years in Denmark that the Danish language is infiltrating my Norwegian a lot, but they're actually enriching each other. Like I can absolutely find some words in Danish that just widen my language horizon. And with this poem or rap or whatever you call it, it was a lot of fun to write it. And I've been wanting to put it into a song for ages. And we started maybe 5 years ago to write on it. And then it took its full form when all of us was together in Trondheim. And I'm very, very happy with the results.
And what the song is about?
Yeah, it's about the liberty of releasing art without being afraid of modern conventions. So yourself as an artist, use your voice, basically.
Any other musical peculiarities or special solutions that you might talk about? Because I'm not a musician, unfortunately. I would love to be, but unfortunately I was not educated.
Oh, we need someone to listen as well, Asger. So we're happy you're here.
So I'm not like picking up like, oh, this notes are going a little bit funny. Any interesting bits that you might kind of reveal about the album?
Yeah, I mean, it was lovely to have Amalie from Myrkur visiting with her key harp that gave an extra layer to the strings. Also extremely happy about Kasia introducing us primitive folk musicians to the classical C flute, which is amazing. Like they really made the flute that can do everything. Like I have 20 flutes in my arsenal to be able to play all my songs. Kasia can make anything on one.
I remember you said, "You mean it can play in any key?" I was like, "Yeah."
So now
and also I think the album is pretty much live recorded, and then I think you can hear that in a lot of the viola parts and a lot of the key harp parts, that it's spontaneous and careful but still bold, a lot of the things that Amalie do. It really shows how much she is feeling the music, because she didn't have a lot of time to prepare. And she came to the studio and we just said, go, do your thing, try out some things. And you can really hear how she plays, like really plays with the music in some of the pieces. So there is some parts where the key harp is hesitant, but we kept it because it really brings out this live feeling. And also with the vocals, it's a lot of one takes on the vocals. You can hear the breath. You can hear it's very organic, because we wanted also to keep the album close to. So you mentioned something, Maria, that I really found interesting, that we don't necessarily polish it too much. So it needs to be something that we can also do live, and that sounds as good live as it does on the album.
Yeah, that became a dogma for us, that we didn't want to do anything in the studio that we weren't able to replicate live. There's a few places where we added an extra voice, and then there's 2 songs where we have you from the studio playing an organ, which we would love to bring live because it's so cool, but let's see.
Yeah, but there's we don't use any synthesizers or technical, what's it called, like, I don't even know how to describe it.
Like, I think what you're searching for is maybe technical enhancements. And also, I want to pull out, when you talk about beats, Asghar, I think it's really curious how Petter solved the beats in Huyen, to go a little bit back to that one, because that's a song who was jammed out, but his rhythms are like, I feel that they're churning like water through stones in the river. Like, they're just flowing around, and I dare anyone to try to copy what he did, because it's so alive.
He just allows himself to get completely lost in the rhythms, and it just flows.
Yeah, that's especially great to hear, because in modern world we have a lot of too polished stuff. I think in mainstream music, and especially like AI generated music, that is like tend to be like perfect and everything. And yeah, that was actually my question, like how much space, like in modern folk recordings, we have for enhancements. And you basically answered that, and there is like not too many in this.
No, there's of course we use the studio equipment to lift frequencies, which enhances the overall feeling of the string, because the microphone can only pick up this much, and then you go in and you produce it afterwards. And this has actually been the really, really exciting part of the process for Kasia and Ingrid and me, because we have been co-producing the entire album. So we've been sitting remotely with the producer in Trondheim and listened through, and then asked for things and changes, and we had to learn a lot of concepts with language within producing. So we all feel we smartened up quite a bit with this production.
So it sounds producing, I think it's like very interesting field.
Yeah, it's very.
And we also got help from Fieke van den Hoek.
Yeah.
In Holland, in the last stages of the mixing and mastering, and she's just amazing.
Yeah, she's had her hands on so many folk albums that all of you guys listening to this love. She's a big part of the Dutch scene in this genres. So she helped with mixing, producing, mastering, and actually also the cover artwork. She's a full one-band woman.
Yeah, and meant to ask, like Fuglefolk, I'm really excited to translate it like it's bird people, it immediately evokes some sort of imagery, like sort of mythological. But why you choose this title?
Yeah, well, I think the first album we called Gottfolk, which means good people, but also good folk music, because folk means both people and folk music in the Scandinavian language. And for Fuglefolk, it's kind of the same. It can mean bird people or bird folk music. And it's a play with words again, because once I said the comment that every time I meet Ingrid, I feel like we're two birds meeting and just blah 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 and singing and, and then Kasia came along, and now it's like and then Petter and then Espen, and now it's like a whole pack of birds just singing and flying around, and it's a fun image to put on the music, and we found it inspiring to work with birds as a topic kind of way, although it's not very present in the songwriting, but it's like the soul of the bird species is underlying everything. Do you feel anything, Ingrid and Kasia?
Well, I'm just thinking, like, it's a while ago that you suggested this title for the album. I thought it was a great title because it also plays on the previous title, but I'm just thinking, like, while you were here, all of you have this app where you track. You're so into birds, right? And then you were tracking like these different species of birds that are around the farm here, and totally nerding out on the birds. And then so it's just so fitting. And then also the song that you wrote, also this "We Fly Where We Want," "Vi flyr hvor vi vil."
Yeah.
So that's the title track of the album. So I don't necessarily agree with you that there's not a bird theme on the album, because the title is "We Fly Where We Want." And I think that also speaks musically for this album, because we didn't go into this with any rules, right? There's a difference between dogma and rules. We had dogmas that, like Lars von Trier, only using a handheld camera, we agreed that we were going to do this, but not this. But musically, we didn't have rules. We're going to fly where we want. So I disagree. I think there is a chaotic but creative bird theme here going on. And there's a lot of flute on this album as well.
Yeah. And
to me, the flute is very birdy. I don't know, Kasia, do you feel the same way?
Do you know, I hadn't actually made that connection in terms of birds and flute, but I think that's a lovely connection. And I think it's amazing that I think the bird theme feels like the undertone. It doesn't actually have to have a solid literal presence on the album, but absolutely that message about "we fly where we want" feels like it really followed us through the process and brought us through to where we are. And yeah, I think also, back to your initial question, Oskar, about the emotional realms that we're taking the listener through, and that I think there is a whole spectrum of emotions that we're working with, that we're exploring, like both in the lyrical theme, but also in the way in which we're presenting the songs, the expression. I think some really raise the energy, and where you can hear the smiling and the joy in the way that we're singing, and some bring it right down, and you feel like we're kind of singing right in your ears, and everything is stripped back, all the layers, and you're left with something that's very raw and immediate. And I find that so exciting to be a part of, because it feels that we're giving little glimpses of what experiences can be offered, but it doesn't feel that there's a limitation here. It actually feels that we're moving through a spectrum, and then towards the end of the album, we're then even sort of introducing some teasers about, and we can evolve here, and we can also explore these emotions without any words at all.
Yeah, beautifully said. And I myself also, it evokes, of course, a lot of context about birds in the art. I know that, Kasia, you're a musical therapist also, so it's kind of, I just wonder how those worlds meet in your head and what kind of therapy you feel like this album offers.
That's such a great question. Yeah, I think because in the music therapy world, it's thinking about how I often sort of relate it to talking therapy. It's a little bit like you work with somebody one-to-one or in a group. But with music therapy, music is your tool, music is your point of connection. And you can explore so many things within that connection. It can be, quite functional, where you're helping somebody to rebuild the ability to speak or walk or exercise certain movements. Or it can actually address some of the deepest parts of oneself and help to surface traumas and explore some quite complex emotional stuff. And I think then when you think about working together musically in a creative sense, I'm quite fascinated by those emotional touch points, and actually the connection between the performer, the music, and the listener, and what those relational touch points are. Because in a therapy sense, you have the client and the therapist and that point of meeting. But then in a performance sense, you've also got the listener and the performer, and what is born at that point of meeting. And I'm so excited to bring these songs live and really explore that in our shows across the year, because there's something you can't quite capture on a recorded album that is felt and created in the moment, in the room, with the people that you're with on stage, but also the audience. I think you don't have the performance without the audience. So it's this collective experience that really enriches and raises the energy. And I believe each performance will be so different because of that meeting of different energies and different people and different spaces. So from that kind of therapy hat, that's where the fascination is about the point of connection for me.
You are starting your tour very soon, and I'm looking forward to see you on Midgardblood. I hope I make it there. At least that's my plan.
Nice.
So what are you feeling about the current tour? Like, what is your anticipation? How's the preparations going? What emotions you feel right now? And what people would expect from the live performance of SONGLEIKR?
All good, very, very good questions.
And you can go around like...
Yes,
like
let's do a round. Can I start?
Sure.
No, it's just because I'm bubbling with excitement. I can't barely contain myself. I think the group that we have right now is what I've always wanted from a folk band. It's very light mood and playfulness. It's a feeling of everyone is there for each other, musically as well as mentally as well. But it's when you... A good example is, for example, Espen, when we're playing something and it's going really well, he has a really good way of just saying, yeah, in the middle of everything. It's just, it makes me so happy. And I think with HEILUNG, which I love working with HEILUNG, but it's not room to all of a sudden say, yeah, in the middle of everything. It's not the style of the project. I should try it. Yeah. But so with this, it's like we get to go down to earth, nitty gritty. Just everything you hear and see is what is being done. It's a direct communication between us musicians and with the audience as well. I can't wait to explore this room, as Kasia talks about, with how our music can affect our audiences. And we have quite a few concerts planned. So and everything from small intimate spaces to bigger festivals. Yeah, no, I don't mean to say everything, guys. Okay, Ingrid, how do you feel about touring?
I'm really nervous, and because I don't really like traveling. I don't really like leaving my farm. But I'm super happy that I can spend time with my friends. It's like a privilege. Not only can I travel with my friends, it's like the best people, and I'm super curious to meet the audience, because it's the previous album was released online and it's been living its own life. Like, I don't meet a lot of people. So when I rarely meet people who tell me that they like the music, and I'm always shocked. I'm like, "What? You've heard my music?" So I'm gonna meet a lot of people, more people than I've ever met, I think.
Yes, probably.
And that makes me a bit nervous, but also it's gonna be fine, right? Because we're there together, and just sing your heart out and get the emotions across. I guess that's gonna be cool. And you, Kasia, are you excited?
I am, yeah. I felt that initial from Maria. I was like, yeah, yes. I think there's been such a build up. There's a lot been going on behind the scenes, and we've done, collectively such a huge effort with the album, with the production and the mastering and the artwork, and there's so much in the background. And having a little glimpse of the energy between the five of us when we met in January for a rehearsal week was such an injection of excitement for what can be. And I'm so excited to come back together next week and I think just throw myself into it. I'm excited for what I already know, but then also ready for the unknown and the adventure ahead.
And Kaisa, did you had a previous experience with touring?
No, this is my first time performing on a tour, and I've been sort of head and ears in the music therapy world for the last 10 years, and my music has been very much within private spaces and really exploring the depths of where you can go to musically, but actually on the flip side, putting it out there in front of an audience is a much newer experience to me. So I'm really embracing of that step, of that evolution of what I can share musically, and how the experience will shift being in a different constellation.
I'm happy that project is taking flight. I think it's important that it's like all your sides are visible. Kind of, it's more your personality that goes out there. You're not just
Yeah. It's been a little bit. What can you say? I hope that because people who are fans of the HEILUNG project, maybe they would like to keep me in this mystic frame where I am a mystic character where you don't see the eyes, or but to me it's I have a lot of more to give, and I hope people are also okay with seeing these sides of me.
You are the sweetest, most bubbly person, right? That's the thing. Like
just hiding behind fridges and
yes, it's. I think that's amazing. That now you can show. So you did that also with Yusin, but now in SONGLEIKR you're just Maria, and just Maria is not the just Maria. Maria is the shit.
Quote by Ingrid.
Yeah.
And if I may say, like for me, like the entire folk scene, like being with you, Maria, like meeting you is like the most reassuring and comfortable feeling.
Oh, thank you.
That's so lovely.
Thank you so much.
I just can't help to ask, like Maria, how the time after HEILUNG hiatus, like how it feels for you. Yeah, so you have that very like high moment when you in Dalhall, and then what happened?
Yeah, and then I went directly to Trondheim to work on the album. So
she doesn't do breaks.
it hasn't really been a break. No, it's been an amazing journey through a lot of different projects, which I could never have dreamed I was going to be allowed to do these things. I mean, making a new album with my best friends and getting to tour with this music that I love. And then also been doing some orchestral pieces with Joe Quayle, and now also I'm going to perform with a Danish symphony orchestra in March. And guesting on a few albums with Goethe and a few other projects that hasn't been announced yet. So, you know, it's very, very exciting to have a break. Yeah, I'm trying to, you know, I live in a quiet house in the countryside, so I can breathe a little bit in between, and yeah, just enjoying everything.
I'm almost, sad that I'm not living in Denmark, so I cannot go to all those concerts that happen in Denmark.
It's only one in Denmark, though, and the most in Germany. And then, yeah, Holland and Norway, we have quite a few coming up.
So I think it's very important to show it to the listener, like the personalities behind the album and what actually went there, like behind the scenes, like mental states and so on. Perhaps you can take turn, say something like closing words about the album, about yourself, whatever you like.
So, yeah, but basically closing words from SONGLEIKR is, to take wisdom from one of our title tracks, fly where you want to, and hopefully fly directly into our hearts through one of our live concerts coming up this spring. That would make us extremely happy.
Yeah, and when the album is out now on the 20th of February, please visit Bandcamp to buy the music from us, and then leave comments, please, because we really love reading comments, like your what songs you like, questions about lyrics. Any interaction is really, we really love it. So yeah. If you're not able to make it to a concert, you can also interact with us online, because we like it.
And check out our Linktree. We're still uploading a couple of extra dates. So Linktree/SONGLEIKR, and we put everything there as it's coming through, and we'll make sure that's updated.
And the best cure for pain is to go out and sing along with other people.
True. Good advice.
Yep.
Thank you so much for today. Good luck with your tour. I'm envious for all the people who will witness it, and I hope to be one of those. See you on the road.
See you out there.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hvis du vil, så kan vi danse. Hør mitt råd, ja, hør meg spå. To til å forstå hvor i livet du bør så. Hvis du vil, så kan vi danse.